Hello. So, welcome. Welcome. If you are new here, hello. I hope you stay and click the subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer, I love and adore you so much. I appreciate you. You are a true MVP for sticking here with me. I am kind of starting my video off a tiny bit different because I'm a little self-conscious about my intro. Jen Phelps uploaded a video. It's probably been 2 weeks now. And she asked her subscribers to answer her question, why do influencers ... One of the responses she got was start all of the videos exactly the same. So we're trying something different today. We shall see if I stick to it. For today, I am actually, it was a long night last night, and it was a rough morning, and I kind of just want to play with makeup and kind of cheer myself up. So we're gonna play with my Chanel makeup collection. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, I didn't do much with my hair. This is what's left over from yesterday. I also filmed yesterday. My scratch those films, I don't know, we'll see. Or those videos, I should say. Okay, so Chanel. Chanel is definitely one of my top favorite high-end luxury brands. This is the Le Beige Healthy Winter Glow Primer. I did go in with a tiny bit of my Rhode Skin Glazing Milk. It was pretty cold yesterday and my skin was thriving with all the humidity in Texas, and now we're back in the dryness. My lip and skin are definitely feeling it. I do enjoy this Chanel primer, but I wouldn't say it's super hydrating. The Rhode Glazing Milk is more hydrating than this. The Ordinary Milky Toner is more hydrating. The Vive Skin Nova, both the one in the little pot and the liquid version, those are definitely more hydrating than this, but it is nice. I am gonna jump in, because that's the only primer I have from Chanel, to the Danessa Myrex Universal Radiant for my T-zone. This keeps my oils at bay, and it has a tiny bit of shimmer. Okay, so my eyes are puffy. I think you can tell. I don't know, maybe not. I've been crying since, what time was it? 4? Maybe 4:30 yesterday. So not April, oh my gosh, I'm tired. Okay, and I'm not gonna put my hair back. Before we start actually applying my foundation, let me show you all the foundations I own from Chanel. I own the Numero 1 de Chanel in shade B30. This, when I first tried it out, I didn't absolutely love it like everybody else did. It's already down to here. I do enjoy it now. I feel maybe because I was in Houston, but here in Utah, I'm enjoying this more than it did when I was in Texas. And then the Ultra Le Teint. This is just the Ultra Wear All Day Comfort Flawless Foundation. Also B30. This is a favorite. It's absolutely beautiful since the moment I tried it out. I do really enjoy it. I think I enjoy this one more now than this, but these are both really beautiful. And then my latest foundation obsession is this bad boy right here, which is the Ultra Le Teint Velvet Foundation. This one I got in BD31. I just felt like BD30 sometimes was a tiny bit too light for me, even when I was at my fairest, and this one just it's a little bit more, like it's maybe half or a quarter of a shade darker. It does lean a tiny bit more like warm and a tiny bit peach, but I can definitely make it work. This is the foundation I took for my trip to Houston. Okay, so yesterday, Saturday, February 22nd, around 3:44 p.m. our dog Boris started having a seizure. I'm pretty sure I informed you all that he was having seizures, and we were just trying to figure out and possibly get him on medication. I want to say he's been on meds for maybe 2 months, so it hasn't been that long. but his seizure started back in May of 2024. That was when he had his first seizure. So yesterday, February 22nd at 3:44 p.m. he started having a seizure. Since he's on medicine, my husband and I thought, okay, this is just, you know, one of his seizure episodes that he has. Let's see how long this will last. It didn't stop. It kept going. We were able to get him in. So because we live in such a small town, all the vets here are actually closed on weekends. On call is basically what they do on weekends. So we were able to get in touch with one of the local vets, and he was able to meet my husband at the vet to see, I don't know, what we can do. By the time he finally got to the vet, he had already been seizing for 2 hours. I don't know if it was, I mean, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason. So it could have just been that it was his time and maybe he waited until we got home from our trip. I honestly don't know. He was in that state of seizure for so long that we honestly don't even know if he was still there. So when he got into the vet gave him Valium. That did absolutely nothing. So then he gave him a shot of a seizure medication. I don't remember which one. And then he went ahead and used the anesthesia that they do to knock a dog out before a procedure, like really knock him out. And that's what finally got him to not be in seizure mode and just kind of lay there and sleep. Okay. The Le Corrector de Chanel B20. I don't think they've come out with too many concealers. I hope we get one. Oh, was that Dior or Chanel? Isn't there a stick concealer coming? So around 6:27 p.m. is when my husband came home with Boris, and he was so drugged up that he was just there, technically sleeping. And the vet told us it should wear out. He thought it was going to wear out sooner than it did, but 9:30 was finally when he was kind of a tiny bit awake, howling just a tiny bit, and it wasn't looking good. I think finally around 10:30 was when he finally was up, and he was acting strange. Not like he was having a seizure, but the post-seizure when he recovers, where he goes to the corner of a wall and just sticks his head in there. The breathing was not normal. It was not a pretty sight. My husband told me to try and get to sleep. He'll stay up with him, and then he'll contact the vet. We got my 3 kids, so one of us needs to be functional, you know? I think it was around 4 in the morning when my husband came into the room, and gosh, I want to say I had probably fallen asleep maybe 3 hours before that. I'm a very light sleeper, and even if I'm really tired, if I'm under stress, it's gonna take a lot for me to actually fall asleep. I asked how, like, if he's better or if it looks like the condition got worse. He told me he didn't know, but he has a feeling it's not good. He had been vomiting, so that was coming out of the mouth or the snout, and then also his bowel movements just were nonstop and they just kept coming. The way he described it, it kind of makes me think his body was shutting down. So got a hold of the vet, and he was able to take him in. What time was it? Like 4:30 in the morning? Yeah, so we got him in. Well, my husband did. I had to stay home because my kids were here. Okay, we're gonna go in with cream bronzer. I actually own 2. So this is the normal size, the Le Beige Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. This is in shade, so Le Tan Medium. I believe there's only 3 shades available, and this is the 2nd shade. Definitely need to work on that. Then, has it already been 2 years? they came out with minis of this, and I got the original shade, Soleil Tan Bronze, and they did change the formulation a tiny bit. I think they took out 1 or 2 ingredients. I'm not 100% sure. This one's lighter. Actually, let me use the medium. It's a little bit of a contour, and then I'll use this as a bronzer. He took Boris. I don't think he was being as honest with me when he came into the room, because he probably didn't want me to like stay up, but he did tell me that as soon as when he got there and he put Boris on the table, he was gone. Like, he already knew, like, as he was driving to the bed, he already knew that he was dying. So at 4:55 today, February 23rd, he passed away. Okay, sorry, I thought I was gonna be able to keep it together, but apparently not. Yeah, so we lost our dog. His birthday was May 29th, so he was 3 months shy of his 8th birthday. My oldest will be 7 this year, so he was a year younger than her. We got Boris July 2017, a year before my daughter was born, when she was born, or in August of 2018. So he was like my husband and I's first baby, you know? Yeah, so it's hitting my husband and I a little bit harder than the kids. Like, my oldest understands, and she did cry a tiny bit last night when we had her say goodnight to Boris, just in case. I think, see, grieving is so weird. Definitely dealt with grieving quite a few times, so I think it'll hit her, but it'll hit her differently. So if she's having mood swings, I'm using the N15, by the way. I didn't even tell you. I think this is a Chikuhodo large brush, like large eye brush, and then one of the Dennis and Myricks brushes for my foundation. If she starts to act out, like have an attitude, be rude or whatever, then it'll probably be the grieving hitting her. I did explain to her that, you know, mommy and papi are sad, and if one day she sees me all of a sudden just start crying, it's probably because I saw something that reminds me of Boris. Yeah, so last night was rough. Didn't sleep much. This morning was rough. My husband came back around, I think around 5:15 was when he was home, and we had our little moment, and you know, we kind of both thought maybe it was our fault. Maybe he got into something, but the vet, like, he just said no. Like, he doesn't think it was anything. He thinks that it was just this is a seizure, and this is the one that just put him down. And one of my old CrossFit Katie gym members, she commented on our Instagram post and told me that she had a dog who had seizures, and that's what happened to him. One day he just had a seizure that just didn't stop, and that's how he passed away. So I just feel like a horrible pet owner because he was so young, and I feel like I wasn't able to, you know, keep him longer here on this earth. And it just I'm gonna be an emotional mess, and the only reason I'm filming is because this is what's keeping my mind busy instead of going down a rabbit hole and looking at old memories, you know. It is good for you to do that, but it's just so fresh that I don't want to get depressed. I don't want to. I have kids I have to take care of. My husband's gonna go back to work. I gotta keep it together. Okay, my makeup's looking really good, actually. I mean, I'm not surprised. I enjoy Chanel. I think they have really beautiful products. I just feel like it's pretty repetitive with what they keep launching. Okay, so cream blush. This is the Lip and Cheek, and Ardent Brick is the tone that I have. Yeah, so I'm only here because this is what helps me anytime I'm going through something, keeping busy. Today is Sunday, so it's supposed to be a running day. I have not gotten my run in. It seems so unimportant right now to think about my run. While I was in Houston, I did run in my sister's neighborhood, and her sidewalks where she lives is so uneven, and I was just, and I always do this every time I'm confident and I think, no, my knee is good, I do something stupid. I didn't wear my knee sleeve while I went on my 2.5 mile run. My knee was actually pretty angry, I guess is the best way I can describe it, while I was in Texas. And it wasn't super bad until, was it Saturday morning? I think Saturday morning. It was just the slightest bit, not swollen, but you can see that there was a little bit of liquid retention compared to the other knee. Yeah, so I've been kind of babying my knee, but still moving and just making sure that I don't re-injure it again. And I totally forgot. Oh yeah, today is a run day and I didn't run. I don't know. You know, for me, running is just like, even though I'm running and I'm thinking the entire time of any possible scenario, problem, thing I need to do on a list, but it's very peaceful. It's almost like I'm allowing for my thoughts and emotions to come, process, and then leave. Even though they say yes, like sometimes it's not good to sit there and just allow for your mind to take over. When I'm running, it's a little bit different. I hope that makes sense. If you're a runner, you probably understand what I'm trying to explain. All right, so I only own one powder from Chanel, the Natural Finish Loose Powder. They do have different tones. I have the shade 20. I'm pretty sure if this is not the lightest shade, it's the second to lightest shade. I am going to use my Dolce & Gabbana pressed powder for my under eyes, and I'll use the loose powder for the rest of my face. So Chanel is coming out with a new collection, the spring collection. I think it's named after a flower. I have seen Tanya's review on it, and who else did I see? Was it Sophia Sees Beauty? Yeah, I think that was it. And it looks beautiful. And also Martina Lily. The blush also looks absolutely beautiful. So it's a 3-tone pan, kind of like the face palette that has the highlighter, the blush, and the bronzer. It's just the pan itself is not that big. But honestly, I feel like they keep giving us the same tones over and over when it comes to their collections. And now that I think about it, I don't think it was Sophia Sees Beauty. I think it was the new highlighters and bronzers from Dior that I saw from Sophia Sees Beauty, which, by the way, the formulation changed on the highlighters. Like, there's 3 different finishes for the highlighters, and then the formula is different on those new nude bronzers. So I am now so tempted to pick one of each. Yeah, so I don't know. Let me know down below if you are interested in the new Chanel spring collection. Okay, I am gonna jump in now to the powder. By the way, for the price tag and how much, I'm like maybe 2/3 done. It's a really beautiful powder. It doesn't have a cover, so this is the BK104. For the cream blush, I used the MY5. Now I'm probably going to get some questions asking how my oldest is doing. She seems fine. I know I mentioned earlier that if I start seeing a change in her attitude, it could just be the grief, but as of right now, she seems fine. I don't think she quite understands that he's not coming back. We're probably gonna get him cremated. My husband's mother offered for us to bury him up at their place. That's where all of their pets are buried. They have some land, so. But I asked Storm, we had a talk about it last night when my oldest was asking, well, what happens once he's dead? And I asked him, like, do you want to bury him up at your mom and dad's, or do you want, like, cremate him and we have the ashes and we do something? He said he wanted the ashes, so that's what we're gonna do. Yes, he will be cremated. Okay, so I pulled out my jumbo. I'm pretty sure these are the only bronzers I have from Chanel. So this is the Sun-Kissed powder in Sun-Kissed medium. This is no longer available. It's the glowy bronzer they came out with. Gosh, I want to say it's been 3 years now. And then this one here is the one they came out with last year, and I'm pretty sure this is part of the permanent line. It's the Healthy Glow Sun-Kissed powder in medium coral. So it has a blush, bronzer, and highlighter. I do enjoy both of these. So let's do a tiny bit of this one. I feel like this one's a tiny bit darker than the glowy one. Oh, battery's low. This is the Vive 1, 2, 3. Found my new Wayne Goss brush, which I am so tempted to buy another one because it's so, I love this brush. Okay, let me add some of the glowy one. Now, if you are gonna be one of those people that says something, for lack of a better word, stupid, just don't, okay? I will block you. I don't care that other people have taken breaks from social media, haven't posted, whatever. I don't care, okay? This is what I want to do to help me keep my mind off of things, okay? So don't be stupid and leave some dumbass comment. I will delete and block it. Okay, so I have a lot of blushes to pick from. I have this one from this Face Trio. This one from, I think, 2 years ago, fall collection. This is in beige, rosé, and mauve. I love this tone. It's so pretty. This one, I think, from spring of last year, I think. I honestly am not sure. And you could see the hard pan on this one. So at first I did enjoy this, but now the hard pan is just annoying. And also you have to really build this up to even see it. So definitely not a favorite. I should probably get rid of this one. Then I got this one. Was it fall or summer? I don't remember, but this is at least a year old. Both this blush and highlighter are absolutely stunning. I might use this today, but we'll see. I also bought 2 of the new formula they came out with, the cream to powder blushes. This one is in Rouge Franc. Beautiful, beautiful. The texture, everything about these blushes are absolutely stunning. And then I also got Rosé Radiant right here. So pretty. I think when it comes to Chanel, that's definitely one of the areas where they really shine, and that's their blushes. And then the 2 oversized eye and face palettes. The older one is this one in Tendrisse, and this is the first one that they came out with in this format, and you can see it's very, very well loved. You can basically use this blushes. This one, the tone is decent enough for bronzer, highlighter, blush, and then also use it as an eyeshadow palette. I think this is the one that I have enjoyed the most when it comes to this format, even though I only have 2 of them. So if they can do that, but maybe different tones, that would be amazing. And then this one from last year, which is the Enchanted Night. I can use these as blushes. I mix all 3 of them together. I can use these 2 individually. The purple, not so much. It looks like a bruise. And then this is pretty much just an eyeshadow for me. It's too glittery to be a highlighter for my personal preference. Okay, so let me figure out what blush I'm going to use today. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this and mix the purple, the pink, and the orange. And maybe I'll add a tiny bit of another one. And I wiped my Wayne Goss brush. Yeah, see, pretty. Yeah, when I use all 3, it's just fine. It's perfect. Like, it's good. It works. But when I use just the purple alone, or just the pink, or just the orange, I don't know, I feel like it's missing something. And eye look with this one is actually really, really pretty. I skipped, like I said, the lightest one they launched just because to me they all looked like highlighters. I don't think I could have used any of them for blush, and if I used them for bronzer, they were just going to be way too highlighty. Okay, and I am gonna add a tiny bit of the cream to powder in Rosé Radiant, just because I kind of want to see how this Wayne Goss brush performs with it, because I do have to really think about what brush I use with this formula. You can use your fingers, but I prefer using a brush for my blushes. It is picking up the product, but I am tapping it on the back of my hand. And it does smell like roses. I enjoy it, but I know there are some people that don't like rose scents. Okay, I don't own too many eyeshadow palettes from Chanel. I think I own 3 quads. Spices, 79 Spices I think is one of them, and I think that's part of their permanent line. And then one of the holiday ones, and it's like an olivey tone, olivey gold tone, I forget what it's called. It's buried somewhere deep in my drawers, and I don't really feel like looking for it. And then this is the latest one that I purchased, the Coral Treasure. These look pretty light on my skin tone. I want to say they perform like pastels a tiny bit, so it's a pretty one, but I did not absolutely love this. I expect a ton of pigment when it comes to Chanel eyeshadow. And then of course the 2 Eye and Face palettes. So maybe I can dig into all 3. So let me see if this will pop up in my crease. I haven't used it as eyeshadow. Yeah, this is a Singe EO3. Let's see if we can see this on my eyes. I have the Urban Decay eye primer. Okay, barely. You can barely see it. I have to really build this up on my crease, on my face, if I want to use it as a bronzer. Yeah, I wish they came out with this version again. Also, the formula is different. It's a little bit more of a baked formulation, where I feel like the Enchanted one, the formula is a little bit more shimmery, sheeny baked. Okay, I honestly do not remember how this performed, so let me try this one here. Same brush. I'm being lazy right now. I want to say I remember them performing like pastels, where the pigment is like pulling teeth, literally. Yeah, see, I've already dipped into that shade like a ton, and I feel like nothing's happening. Okay, let's try a tiny bit of the purple. I just did a purple eye look yesterday. This is the Singe EO2. Okay. So I feel like the formula in the eye and face palettes, I feel it's a little bit better for the eyes as far as pigment goes. I just feel like if you're shopping Chanel eyeshadow, don't expect Natasha Denona indie brand quality. It's going to be soft, subtle, frustrating if you're used to working with really pigmented shades, but I can definitely see the appeal, especially if you have more mature eyelids, also especially if you lean more towards one and done eye looks. Yeah. Okay, let's try a tiny bit of this like beautiful wine tone. That same brush, I'm just gonna wipe it off. Just let's see if we can deepen up the outer corner a tiny bit. Not too much, but that's fine. I think the 79 Spices is my favorite quad from Chanel. Okay, I did put a tiny bit of NYX glitter glue. No, you don't have to. I like to. You don't have to do what I do. I know there are some people that get so upset because it's Chanel, you know, it's a super luxurious brand and I'm using glitter glue. Okay, it's what I like to do, all right? Don't get on me about it. I guess I'm just not having it today. So I think I'm gonna jump into both the shimmer and the silver one in the Eye and Face palette. I don't remember. I think this one's like a duochrome, where like it shifts into a different tone a tiny bit. So I'll do this in the middle, and then I'll do the silver in the inner portion. I'm also going through a some grieving, so I feel like for a lot of us, shopping helps us sometimes. But see how you can tell the difference between that sparkle from the I Am Face palette? That's glitter. I am not going to use that as a highlighter, you know? Okay, I don't have any eyebrow products from Chanel. Mascaras, the Noir something. Not the first one I tried in a mini, the second one. That mascara is actually nice, but I'm all out of that one, the sample that I had. So I used my Haus Labs and I mixed the new Bounce Benefit Mascara. My eyebrows, I went in to Refy brow pencil. I haven't put brow gel yet. So I feel like when it comes to Dior, they have a plethora of single highlighters and single bronzers. I feel like that's the two things that they just keep giving us so much of, and we're kind of done. And I feel like with Chanel, it's the blushes. They just keep giving us blush after blush after blush. I don't have a highlighter, an individual highlighter, and I feel like when they do give us highlighters, they're huge and they have glitter. I don't want glitter in my highlighter. So the only highlighters I have to pick from are in the big face palettes. The very first one was from the Teint. This one here is a beautiful peachy highlighter. I love this. It was my first highlighter from Chanel and I actually do really enjoy it. I don't know if I'm going to use that yet. And then from the Enchanted Night, I already said, way too glittery, so I don't use that as a highlighter. And then from the Medium Coral, this is also a very beautiful highlighter. But my absolute favorite one is gonna be from the Blush and Highlighting Duo in Light and Berry. This highlighter is stunning, and I do mean stunning. I think we're gonna jump into this one and maybe add a tiny bit of that blush. It also has a tiny bit of a shift in it, but it's so natural. Don't expect blinding highlighters. I know I've seen a couple of makeup content creators make a video about blinding highlighters coming back, and I'm not one of those people. I am not one of those people that wants blinding highlighters to come back. This is the Sonia G Worker L. Okay, and the TF3, which I love using with this formula in this blush. It is a little bit more hardly pressed, and this berry tone can be a little intimidating, but I feel like this brush just lays it down so beautifully. I am doing that so that the pigment is more even on the entire brush. Okay, when it comes to Chanel, I don't own too many lip products. I think I only own a lipstick, and it was like a limited edition Comet collection. One of the Rouge Coco Bloom. I think this was also limited edition. I honestly don't remember. And that's another reason why I don't want to purchase the new spring collection, because I think it's a limited edition, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to purchase the least of this year. Chanel lip liner. This is the only one I own, beige natural. If you have tried a Chanel lip liner, let me know. Oh, I need to sharpen this. What tone is your favorite? This one's very pretty, but it's a little bit on the lighter side. I need one that's a little bit more dark than this. Let me sharpen this. Okay, so let me add this. Like I said, beige natural. And it's like a very light nude with slight hint of peach. Chanel are very similar to Dior. Lip liners, they don't budge too much. They're pretty long lasting formula. I think the Dior is a little bit longer when it comes to longevity. Let's see how it looks. Tiny bit peachy. Let me see if I'm gonna do the Coco Bloom. It's a pretty warm nude kind of tone, so I don't know if it's gonna go with the eye look. And the other one that I own is a pretty brown, close to like diffused chocolate brown. So I might need to buy a new lipstick from Chanel that maybe leans a tiny bit more like nude, everyday kind of. Okay, and here is the full completed look. I did go into Natasha Denona, I think Mini Crush, and I used the lightest matte as my inner corner shade. It's like a light petal pink kind of tone. Okay, but yeah, here is the finished face with me digging into my Chanel makeup collection. Not a full face. I think the eye look is very pretty. Very spring inspired, soft, subtle. I definitely do feel like when I wear Chanel, it's more of a sophisticated, soft kind of look. All right, my lovelies, thank you so much for joining me today. I just felt like sharing about Boris because you're my community, you're like my friends, and if my mood is just different with any video that I film after today, that I want you all to know the reason why, because I'm pretty sure someone, and it's usually a non-subscriber, is going to point it out. But yeah, okay, I didn't cry too much. That's good. I have definitely cried enough. Eyes don't look super puffy, so okay. I would love to know if you have any Chanel makeup items in your collection. And if you do you have an absolute favorite? I do feel like the cream bronzer is a favorite in a lot of people's collections. I definitely feel like anytime I see one of those get ready with me Vogue videos, almost every single time the famous person is pulling out the Chanel cream bronzer. It's a good formula. I enjoy it. I actually enjoy the formula in the mini a little bit better than the original. I feel like they're reformulating so much stuff. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate all of you so much. When you like my video, when you leave a comment, it helps out my channel so much, and I appreciate it so much. With that being said, do not forget to give the video a big thumbs up, and also don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you all on my next video. Bye.